What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. I'm back at it with another reaction. Hope y'all staying warm if it's cold where you at. But we got why Andrew Schultz, Kendrick Lamar's diss is ending his career by fantastic hip hop. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K, man. Oh, appreciate y'all so much for the love and support. Man, I am disgusted. I heard what Andrew Schultz had said, and that was so disrespectful. What's irritating about Andrew Schultz is he's not even funny. Like even the thing he said about the black girlfriend effects, it just wasn't even funny. Like it just wasn't funny. And I've been seeing people's reaction as far as to what Andrew had said to Kendrick Lamar, and it's just like, do you not understand that that could get you really effed up, son? Like that's what's so crazy. Like the fact that you felt the audacity to utter that you would do what to Kendrick Lamar? Like yeah, I can see why his career is ending. Let's check this out.
Now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar in 2024, it seems like no matter who the person he is at odds with is, and no matter what Kendrick says when he is calling them out, whenever somebody has been in any sort of conflict or confrontation with the biggest rapper on the planet right now, they just completely lose all composure and in an attempt to make a response and come back to Kendrick, just end up doing irreversible damage to their own careers instead of doing anything to make him look worse. And now, while earlier in the year, we saw this happen to Drake, of course, and he still hasn't come back from it, now we are seeing another crash out from somebody who tried to clap back at Kendrick Lamar in a much different way with comedian Andrew Schultz, and really with what Schultz just did and how he is handling all of the backlash he is getting from it. If what happened to Drake after Kendrick Lamar has ruined his career in nearly every single way possible, there is almost no way Schultz comes out of this with his career intact. But now, before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And so now, when it comes to Kendrick Lamar's latest beef, before we even get into what pushed Kendrick to call Schultz out for his questionable actions on his album GNX's intro track, Whacked Out Murals, when we look at Andrew Schultz, beyond being a comedian who just represents everything wrong with comedy into
It really does. Like I said, that's what's so irritated about Andrew Schultz is that some of the things he says, it's just all like, huh? What? What? Why would you even say that?
today's day and age. Throughout this entire year, Schultz has been a figure in media and pop culture, who that while Kendrick Lamar was on a mission to go after Drake, J. Cole, and just change the direction of where hip-hop was going, Schultz constantly bashed Kendrick Lamar and tried to diminish his greatness. And overall, all of Schultz's sentiments were alluding to the fact that Kendrick was a clout chaser for going after Drake, and really for being someone who does not deserve the success and praise that they get.
Wow.
And Schultz never really let up on this standpoint, even after Kendrick clearly won the beef, and like other Drake stans did. He just made excuses when Drake lost and said that Kendrick cheated his way into winning by making false claims and narratives and then stepping over the line.
Oh, but Drake can do it though, right? That's one of some of the biggest criticisms that people like Andrew Schultz and other people, Mal for freaking Warrior Ball was saying in regards to Kendrick, Skepta, everything like that. Oh, Kendrick went too far. Kendrick went too far. Did you forget what Drake did? Did you forget what Drake said? Did you forget that prior to Kendrick even going this particular route, he warned him several times, hey, let's keep it rap. Let's keep it, let's keep it just rap. Don't bring any family in. Don't bring nothing. What did Drake do? Bring the family in. So disregard all of that, right? And I forgot Andrew Schultz was just slobbering all over Drake's freaking stuff. It's like he could not, without any inclination, and the disrespect, and I didn't even realize, like, it even makes even more sense, as far as Andrew Schultz saying this, because he's just been trying to, I don't know if he wants Kendrick to just say his name, like, oh, the biggest rapper said my name or whatever. And I think that's what's interesting about Kendrick's bar is he didn't say specifically who it was, but we kind of knew who it was, you know? And so that's what's so fascinating about this is that Andrew Schultz's direction in this is just petty. It just reeks of bitter jealousy. And it's like jealousy of what? He's not even in your realm of anything, but it's just all like, oh, your Lord and Savior Drake is just, oh, he went to, oh. And man, it's irritating.
Which is going to be important to keep in mind for later. And so now fast forward to today, and after on Whacked Out Murals, when Kendrick Lamar had a line that was clearly calling out Schultz, Schultz has officially responded to Kendrick Lamar on his show, and with what he just decided to cook up after all things considered and seeing just how much Kendrick Lamar can say about his competition, was a pretty light diss in the grand scheme of it all, even if you want to call it that. Right. What Schultz just did is going to go down as one of the worst responses to being called out in a rap lyric by a celebrity of all time. Seriously. And beyond just that, Schultz is really going to join someone like his idol Drake for being on one of the greatest crash outs of the entire year, because with what he said, after acknowledging that Kendrick dissed him, trying to be funny, and talking about how the GNX album is a good record, but that he's just mad because of the diss. After Schultz made it clear that he would never mess with the people who Kendrick Lamar hangs around with, he then went on to say that because of Kendrick Lamar's height, which again, notice these parallels between him and Drake's insults, that he would be able to take on Kendrick because of his size and stature, and with the rest of what Schultz said, I can't even say it in this video because it's really that bad, but for those who don't know, what Schultz went on to say in an entire multi-minute bit where he got into extensive detail of what would go down between him and Kendrick Lamar, was the same thing that Drake rapped about happening to Kendrick on The Heart Part 6. And what Drake tried to frame as this moment.
Basically, what he doesn't want to say is, yes, he talked about making, basically R-wording Kendrick Lamar. He basically was trying to say because of Kendrick's shortness that Andrew, as well as pretty much anybody else, would be able to have their way with Kendrick Lamar, and there's nothing that he would be able to do about it. Yeah. Yeah. That's what his response was. Yep. That's what it's, yeah, it's quite disturbing.
That ruined his life and made him so against everything the OVO rapper stood for in the first place. And that was, of course, the whole Mother Eye section of the track, where Drake misunderstood one of the most devastating and powerful songs Kendrick Lamar has ever wrote, which was about his very own mother's experience and not his. And as Schultz made what may be the strangest comeback to being dissed ever, everyone went crazy over this, as from people who are close to Kendrick Lamar and from TDE just clearly being baffled with the response, to even Drake fans who are now trying to get a win by saying that Kendrick and his camp are soft, as they are now using the stance that there should be rules in what people can say in a back and forth to try and call Schultz out. There has been so much discourse about this moment, and I think when it comes to this situation at its most fundamental level, I mean, this doesn't take a lot to see, but everyone's supporting Schultz and trying to use this to show that Kendrick Lamar has a double standard for things that he can do but not have used against him. It's just blatantly wrong and lacks a sense of skill to really assess the music and media they interact with. And really, to support Schultz here, it just goes against the very roots of both rap and comedy as art forms and as these tools of unfiltered expression. Because let's be clear about this, as Andrew Schultz did and showed, he could have said anything he wanted, and that's exactly what he did. But just like if two rappers were beefing, whatever is being used to take down your opponents with words is going to be judged by the people and either rejected or accepted. And
that's before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Yeah, these are not singles. These are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase, all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out, because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, like if Drake had said that in one of his raps, like, you just so short, I'll manhandle you, I'll do whatever it is. Like, it's as corny as Drake in that one stream yelling out custard instead of mustard. It's just so bland chicken. It's just ugh. It's like why? That's cool. Like what were you thinking? It's just so corny. It's so corny. But hey, if y'all want to see the rest of this, I'll make sure to leave it in the description. But it's just corny. I think that people would be like, "Oh, Andrew would be okay." I pretty much only hear about Andrew Schultz when he's doing some random stuff, and it just happens to be about black people. And so it's just all like, sir, you, and it's just like, it doesn't matter if you have Charlemagne on there or whatnot. It's just, Charlemagne honestly needs to give you Donkey of the Day. Has he given him Donkey of the Day? He needs to give him Donkey of the Day. Maybe his little business relationship might be fractured, but if Charlemagne is a real one, he needs to give Andrew Schultz Donkey of the freaking Day. For real. But anyways, it's Mr. Composition, the MC That Writes Fiction. I'm back at it with another reaction. Sound off in the comments. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Do you think people are taking it too far in regards to their reaction to Andrew Schultz, or do you think it's justified? Anyways, y'all, peace.